If you're going to cook an omelet, first thing you gotta do is take your eggs out of your carton. But if you look closely at that carton, what would you might find? When looking at that egg carton, you may find various particles and fibers that clearly aren't from the same source. This is because the carton was made from molded pulp fiber. In the same instances, you'll even see small woven wire mesh indents. Having said that, why exactly do molded pulp fiber manufacturers turn to woven wire mesh? Molded pulp fiber is defined as a combination of paper, either recycled or virgin, that is mixed with warm water and fibers to create a slurry. When the pulp and fiber are thoroughly mixed, the slurry is then combined to create a final molded pulp fiber product. Now, resources such as sugarcane are used for the fibers. If you look at the molded pulp fiber industry in its entirety, 44% of fiber comes from sugarcane, 21% comes from bamboo, 14% comes from straw, and 5% comes from other resources. Wood was once a prominent fiber source, however, manufacturers across the globe are pushing to move away from the resource and switch to more sustainable options, like I mentioned before. Woven wire mesh can be defined as a metallic cloth formed from interlocking a predetermined number of individual wires using a weaving technique that resembles the weaving process used to create the various forms of clothing. To ensure you capture a desired level of quality in your pulp fiber products, the specifications of the mesh can be fine-tuned and customized. This includes the weave pattern, wire diameter, aperture size, micron rating, width, and length. So after you've created your slurry, wire mesh is dipped into a metallic mold and the entire mold is dipped into the slurry. The mesh allows the water to be vacuumed out of the pulp fiber. It also helps to mold the pulp and fiber into the desired shape after the heat and pressure are applied. And like I said before, for products like egg cartons, you can see the imprints left by the wire mesh if you look closely. So when compared to other materials, the standout reasons why you would use wire mesh are rigidity and durability. Its durability is critical as the mesh molds continuously endure extreme temperatures and pressure during the molding process. Its ability to withstand these conditions allows you to maintain the necessary levels of accuracy longer than other materials. In fact, woven wire mesh molds will last you around 6 to 8 weeks on average. But the lifespan of these molds is of course affected on how you maintain and handle the molds. And in regards to its rigid qualities, it's essential to know that woven wire mesh is typically purchased in rolls or cut to size pieces and pressured into a metal die. Once the desired form is achieved, the rigidity of the mesh prevents it from falling out of form even after hundreds of cycles. Additionally, wire mesh can also be heat treated to improve its ability to be formed and hold its form. This is often in the form of an annealing process. So there's a couple industry standards you should be aware of when incorporating woven wire mesh into your process. Industry standards typically call for a mesh count of 50 combined with a 24 mesh on a dual layer piece of mesh. But that said, single layer mesh can be used as well. And in terms of alloy, most applications utilize a stainless steel mesh. Most commonly, this is either a 304 or a 316 stainless steel. So while these are the common alloys used, it's important to know that wire mesh can be woven using a wide array of alloys, like copper. Copper in particular could potentially help facilitate a more even distribution of heat when molding and pressing the pulp fiber slurry. Ultimately, however, the mesh specifications that you use should be based on your industry standards, your slurry, and the level of quality you're looking to achieve. So like I said before, woven wire mesh is typically purchased in industrial rolls or cut to size pieces for your molded pulp applications. This is because manufacturers that form the wire mesh molds in-house see significant cost savings. But that said, there is no set cost for industrial woven wire mesh. Instead, the price you expect to pay is completely dependent on the specifications that you want for your mesh. Again, this includes weave pattern, wire diameter, mesh count, width, and length. Value-added services will increase the cost of the mesh. This includes heat treatment, welding, pleating, and ultrasonic cleaning. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, click our Talk to Us button. Get in contact with our many experts on woven wire mesh. And if you'd like to learn more about woven wire mesh or our many products, we have a learning center filled with written and video content to make you an expert. We also have a YouTube channel. And don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring that bell to keep up with all things WS Tyler. Once again, my name is Andrew Kotlar, and I'll see you around in the next video. Bye for now.